Okay, today I'm going to make fruit salad. Start by cutting the two ends off the pineapple. And then as you skin your pineapple, now I do feed the skins to the chickens, so I will collect those at the end and put them in a bag for the chickens. The top and bottom though I just throw away. And I'm just cutting this deep enough to get all the little divots out. And then you can see there's a core in the center. So I go on the edge of the core and I cut down the center, or cut down the edge of the core. And then I flip it around and do the same thing on the other side. And then you can see the core, and there's good usable stuff on either side of the core. So I cut the core out, and a lot of times I will eat the edges on the core because there's no use wasting that good pineapple. So then I go and I do like about 1/2 inch slices. Then I turn it so you're at 90 degrees, and I go and I do the same 1/2 inch slices. So more or less it looks diced from the top, but the pieces are going to be varying in length depending on which part of the pineapple it's from. And then we'll slide it in our dish. I'll do an orange next. And I'll separate out. This side's going to the chickens, that side's going to the trash. And I usually just slice twice around the orange, so the skin will wedge off in like 4 nice wedges. And then I break the orange in half. And some people don't like this white stuff. I just take that off. And then I do about the same size slices on the orange that I did on the pineapple. And turn it 90 degrees and repeat those slices. So if you see here, I'm cutting in toward the center of the orange with each cut. So my knife actually pivots from one side of the orange to the other. And then I have it turned 90 degrees. And I do the second set of cuts, and there I have my little diced oranges. Now the apples, I do differently depending on whether I'm making them for just my household or whether I'm making them for company or potluck. When it's just my household, I do leave the seeds and the cores in because, yeah, don't cut toward yourself. Usually I use a much smaller knife for the little butts of the apples. But the apples, including their seeds and their core, is a more complete nutrition range of vitamins and minerals than your apple minus your seeds. So whenever I can, if I'm eating an apple whole, or if I'm wedging it, putting peanut butter on it, or nut butter, now that I've realized how high in omega-6s peanut butter is, I've pretty much transitioned to a really nice nut and seed butter that Costco makes. And then I don't have to worry about the high omega-6 in the peanut butter, and I don't have to worry about whether or not the peanut butter has mold. So if you're making this for somebody else, you can always take the seeds and the cores out, but I leave them in just because it's a more complete food product. And these I'll just rinse a little bit. And I forgot an apple. Yes, let's have 2 apples in here. And we'll cut the little butts out. There's nothing wrong with them. If I'm eating an apple straight off the tree or something, I actually eat the little butts, and it doesn't bother me. Now I am cutting the slices just the same way I did with the apple. I'm angling the knife toward the center of the apple. So your knife goes from cutting this way to cutting this way. And I'm doing the same, like 1/2 inch, maybe even a 1/3 inch slices. And then you turn it your 90 degrees and you repeat your slices. And there you have a beautiful whole apple. Now, it looks like I needed a larger dish. So what I'll do is I will mix the apples in with the pineapple and oranges so it gets citric acid around it and helps it from browning, keeps it nice and fresh looking. That's why I actually cut the pineapple and the oranges before the apples, so I would have them in there to mix together with right away. And then you gotta pick out the bad ones. Usually if they're squishy, they're bad. And I'll just put these on top. I'll serve fruit salad after dinner today. And then after it's eaten down, I'll add some more to what's left and what gets saved for supper. And I'll do the same thing with the blueberries. Just give them a quick rinsing. And then not only will they not be squished, but when I serve them after dinner, all the little pretty berries will be on the top. Now you can, if you want, add bananas, but I only add them, well, that doesn't fit. I only add bananas when I serve them because bananas will turn brown. And voila, one nice fruit salad.